All right, so check this out. Today, I woke up feeling a little creative. Like I literally turned on YouTube as I usually do most mornings, and I saw that Paula Deen was on there making buttermilk biscuits, and I'm like, I think I might have all the ingredients to try that out. Turns out I don't have buttermilk. I thought I did, but I guess the last bit of buttermilk I had got used for something. So I'm gonna be using heavy whipping cream. This is just a test kitchen little experiment, so we'll see how it turns out. But either way, it's fairly simple, and I have the recipe pulled up on my other phone. And I'm decreasing this recipe by a whole lot because number one, it's an experiment and I don't want to make a whole bunch if it's not gonna turn out right. And then you know, it's not that many people here that's gonna be eating no biscuits. So I'm gonna decrease the recipe by quite a bit. Anyway, you need self-rising flour, sugar, kosher salt, cold unsalted butter, buttermilk, which I'm substituting heavy whipping cream. I'm not sure how that's gonna turn out. And I actually had all-purpose flour instead of self-rising, but you can make self-rising flour by just adding salt and baking powder, which I have that here. And I've actually already done all that off camera. So the recipe calls for 4 cups of flour. I only did 1 cup. Like I said, I'm not even sure how many biscuits this is gonna make. I'm just decreasing this recipe by a whole lot. So I put a cup of flour in here, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and I think a teaspoon of salt. And then also I put a teaspoon of sugar in here as well. And so it just says to like whisk it together. And so that's what I'm doing. Just making sure that it's well combined. Because you need that salt and baking powder to, you know, be incorporated throughout so that, you know, it does what it needs to do. So now that's all incorporated, I have some ice cold butter cubed, and this is literally ice cold because we went to Sam's the other day and we have like so much butter, so we put a lot of it in the freezer because obviously, you know, we don't need all that butter to just be sitting in the fridge. But I cubed it up and I'm just adding it to my flour mixture. And I believe it says to combine that, it says using a fork or pastry blender, cut in the cold butter until the mixture is crumbly and about the size of peas. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be using a fork because I don't have no pastry cutter. So 1 second. And I actually may add more butter, just depending, because I'm kind of guesstimating, to be honest. You know, again, this is a test kitchen experiment, so you know, I'm just working it. I may have to add more butter than this because I think this is like half a stick, because I just, you know, because I decreased the recipe. You know, obviously I'm not gonna need as much as what that recipe called for, because that was the amount of butter that would have been needed if I was using 4 cups of flour, and this is definitely not 4 cups of flour. This is only 1 cup. So, you know, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna keep working it. And the thing about when you're cooking, when you're kind of experienced in the kitchen, you kind of just, you know, can better feel your way through, even if you aren't exactly sure. You know how things should look and how things should just kind of go, just because of you know, again, the experience that you've had in the kitchen, either through things that you tried yourself or you know, watching other people. And I'm not gonna lie, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I've watched a lot of you know, cooks, and just, you know, my own experience with, you know, being in the kitchen, which I cook quite a bit. So let me see. Yeah, I think I might need. All right, so I'm back. So see how I got it to that point where it looks like it's formed like small peas, and like pretty much the butter is incorporated into the flour and everything. So now at this point, I'm gonna add my heavy whipping cream, which the recipe really calls for buttermilk, but as I stated earlier in the video, I don't have any buttermilk. And you can actually make buttermilk yourself. I think you just add like lemon to whole milk, and whatever chemical reaction it is that occurs there makes buttermilk. But anyway, I'm just gonna add this gradually until this mixture is moistened. So I'm not even gonna like measure it because I don't want to put too much or whatever. So I'm just gonna start out with a little bit, and I can probably add more than that though. Let me see. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, it's getting nice and moistened. See. I mean, it's smelling like it's on the way to being biscuits. I don't know. I don't want to speak prematurely now. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit more. I don't want to use too much of this heavy whipping cream, because people around here, they use that for their coffee. They'll be like, what the heck is my heavy whipping cream? Okay. So I would say that is moistened enough. So the next time, or the next step after this, is basically like rolling this out so that we can form the actual biscuits. So I'm gonna get that set up, and that will be the next thing that is seen on camera. All right, so as you can see, I've lightly floured my surface here, and I got my dough out onto that, and it says to knead it 3 or 4 times. Keep in mind, this is test kitchen experimenting. I'm no expert big biscuit maker. I don't even know that I've done this before, but have I? I don't know. But either way, I'm about to just see what happens. So let's go. And I don't want to overwork it either, because I don't want my biscuits to be, I don't know, tough or anything like that. And it is very sticky. Now, like my great grandma, she was known for like making homemade biscuits, and I don't recall that she made it this way necessarily. I really don't remember. I was really young when I would be in the kitchen with her, when she would be making them for breakfast. Now my grandma, which is obviously her daughter, she always said that she never really got into the biscuit making because she didn't like the way that like the raw dough felt on her hands. So she, I guess, kind of steered clear of the biscuit making. But I don't really mind it too much. It's kind of almost like you know, playing with Play-Doh almost. It's kind of fun. So I think I'm gonna do this just one last time. But I'm proud of the way it's turned out, I think. Let me see. Just get all this little excess. Hey, it's kind of smelling legit, like how it should smell at this point in the game. All right. So it says in you know, the recipe, like the thickness that you should roll this out to. Now, I'm no expert in mathematician to be knowing, oh, roll out to a 1/2 inch thick, or I don't know. So, I don't know. We'll see when we get to that point. Let me wash my hands, and I'm gonna just start cutting these off. All right, y'all. So off camera, I have been forming some biscuits. They're out of the camera frame, but you'll see them in a second. But I said I'll go ahead and form one right quick on camera. Kind of had to work it a little bit, but I'm getting through, because I had to get it, I don't know, get them the right thickness. Like, I didn't want them to be like too thin, but I didn't want them to be too thick either. So I think that's a pretty good thickness, which they're all, you know, fairly like that. See, fairly like the same size and thickness, which you want them to be like the same size and thickness, so that, you know, the cooking time is the same for all of them. Like, you don't want some of them to be done and then the other ones still need a little bit more time because they're too thick or whatever the case is. So let me see, I think I probably can get, I don't know, maybe one more. Yeah, this one's kind of sticky a little bit. That's okay. All right, that's the last one. And we just got like this little bit of dough left. Let me see. I don't know, that little, it might just be like a little sacrificial piece that, you know, I didn't do anything with. So, let me get some, what I've already done is I put me some butter in my cast iron skillet, and I'm just gonna sit the biscuits in here right on top of that butter. See, like that. And they can touch too, because then when they rise, they'll, you know, just be some happy little brothers and sisters. Let me see, I got 2 more. Okay, see? So these are about to go in the oven. I have to look at the recipe and see how long, but the oven is on 425, and we'll see what happens. And of course, when they come out, I'm gonna brush the tops with butter. Let me see, I might can brush the tops with butter now. I don't know, let me see. All right, so now I'm just about to go over the top with some melted butter. I really wish I had my pastry brush, but I don't know what happened to it. So I'm just pouring the melted butter on top like this. And I'm about to go in the oven, and that'll be that. And that little piece of butter, I'm gonna have to spread that out, because that just can't be clumped up like that. And this little middle one needs more butter anyway. Listen. Something in the world of science and chemical reactions did not do what it was supposed to do. My biscuits did not rise to the occasion. And I'm not mad about it. Again, this was an experiment, a test kitchen thing. And one thing about baking, you have to be precise in measurements, because literally there are like chemical reactions and stuff that have to take place for stuff to do what it needs to do. And sometimes when you don't get it right, this is what you get. I haven't even really tasted them yet. But yeah, this is what it is. And it was fun while it lasted. So, yeah. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. This was my little attempt at biscuits, which this attempt was a fail.